Everyone wants to know about your pain.
There is a name to my pain, and it is Batman. Best Joker, hands down. I don't care. I'm not, and this is not a Gen Xer just being Gen Xery. I mean, Nicholson's Joker, top tier, top tier.
Yeah.
But Mark Hamill's Joker.
I mean,
Well,
I you got Nicholson, you got Ledger, you got Mark Hamill. I mean, to me, all three of those are like I love. So
yeah, they're all different takes, but in each one of them, it's the same character.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
They don't behaviors, traits, crap like that, that unique to the actors that portrayed them, but they're all Joker.
yeah.
So,
No,
oh,
I'm
on that note, Stephen King, he named his son Joe.
right. Is
So
that a is that a is that
I'm
a
not,
Batman reference?
I'm not joking, but he is.
Joking. Oh fuck, I get it. All right, all right. Oh,
Facts.
that was a slow one for me. You know what it is though? I'm like, because I think of him as Joe Hill because that's what he goes by, and
Uh.
so yeah, yeah, way over Matt.
Anyways, anyways, Ryan,
Welcome to Comics in the Making. My name is Ryan Holgerson. I'm the creator of Slackmatic, and I'm joined as always by Levi Erickson, the creator of the Big. Levi, how's it going?
I'm in so much pain.
What's
Everything hurts.
what's wrong?
The band had a gig last night,
Oh,
and I
really?
took the day off of work.
I was wondering why you're off today.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I so take if we do a weekday show, which is not too often, but if we do a weekday show, I take the next day off.
Right.
But I think I'm at a point now where I'm taking the day of the show and the day after off.
Yeah.
It's just getting there. But it was a lot of fun. With Cancer Slug was the headliner. Um and they had a huge following, but people were there to see every single band, the girls and good grief. So
Where was that at?
pretty stacked bill at Snug Harbor here in Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool.
and it was one of those things where I could have been home not too long after midnight if I just would have started moving, but I didn't start moving. I just kept talking to people and hanging
Yeah.
out, and I got home and it was more like two.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Well,
a good time was had by all.
well, that's good.
I saw
That's
Mike.
good.
I saw Mike Phillips out there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
That's funny because he was like, I don't even know how many shows I'm going to, and then it's like 3 days later, he's at a show.
Yep, yep. So you can get that story over on the Gabba Gabba Huh podcast that Mike Phillips does. Himself, myself, and Ryan Self and Jeff Williams, the creator of Supernova Uber Alice. We all had a chat as being kind of punk rock musicians and cartoonists. Um, so go see what we talked about on that podcast. Link in the description below.
Yeah, it was a good chat. I went back and revisited it yesterday actually when he released it.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday was
I
the
was
day off.
working my day job schedule was way different yesterday. Usually it's one of my shorter days and I ended up working like 10 hours or something like that. And so the first part of my day I just listened to us and it was funny because it's such a long conversation that like I forgot about shit that we had talked about. It was like, were
Yeah.
we recording then or no? And then I liked how he cut in our songs and stuff like that
Yes.
into it. What's funny is the first Modrat song that he plays, which is called Twizzlers, he cuts it in when I'm talking about our first show at a
Mhm.
house show and stuff like that, that was the first song that we played at that show. And so it's funny because when he, when I was just listening to it and then all of a sudden that song came on, I was like, I kind of got chills because I was like, holy, like shit, that was it. That was the first song at that show that we played. And at the time it was like a brand new song. I mean, it's like two fucking chords and like has one line for lyrics. It's nothing. It's just a total like garage punk rock song.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
awesome. It's wonderful.
but yeah, no, it was so funny that he just, I don't know, instinctively put that one on. I don't know, man. What good job, Mike.
Yeah,
It
yeah, absolutely.
was
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah, so that conversation that we had last week was awesome and that show's fun to go check that out. But it's been a big week. It's been a big period for us as a channel, as Comics in the Making. And let's talk about kind of like what's happened, the trajectory we have at the moment, and kind of give a status report, I guess, of what the channel is
Well,
doing.
yeah.
A little bit less about the comics we're making, more about the channel itself, that you're here, you know, uh, participating in, engaging in.
Right. Well, no. So at the beginning of this week, as usual, God knows when this video is coming out because we kind of jump around
Well, it'll
sometimes.
be the next one after the next one.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, I mean after the previous one.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. That's still, all right. Gotcha. Anyway, so uh, either way, at the beginning of this week before we recorded, we were sitting at like just over 90 subscribers, I think. So like 92 or something like that.
Well, hold up. Let me hold you up right there. Just days before that, we were hovering in the 70s.
Yeah.
And let's preface, okay, just to satisfy any, you know, we are a new channel. We've been doing it for 6 months, but that's new. And and so when we say these numbers, we don't say them like, I mean, well, it doesn't matter why we say them. This is the facts, and this is where we're going. And I'll probably just clip this part out. So jump back in, Ryan.
Well, no, I mean, you know what? No, Levi, keep it in.
Okay.
Uh, because when we talk about our creative pursuits, I don't think it's a bad thing to celebrate the small wins, no
Yeah.
matter how small they are. And everybody that's creating something is on different a different level of their comic or creative career or whatever they're doing.
Hmm.
So for us as a new channel, uh for us to hit that 100 milestone of subscribers and really as fast as it happened, where
Yeah.
last week we're in the, like you said, we were in the 70s, and then we're up into the 90s, and then right now as we record we're at like 112.
Hmm.
And uh those, I don't care how small they are for
Yeah.
us, that it's, I'm not going to say it's a big milestone, but it's a milestone.
It's one of the first milestones,
Right.
you know.
Because before, when we first started it and we're at, well, you started it and brought me on, we were at, I mean, we were in small double digits,
Yeah.
I mean, like, and so it was once we started doing it regularly, where we started seeing that push. And I think within like the first week or two, we got to 50, and then it was a little slower. This is kind of our second big, week or two of
Mhm.
where we've seen another little push like that. Um,
Yeah,
so
100%. 100%.
yeah, so
And just to back up, like going back to the summertime, we had decent little momentum on the onset, and then I took a vacation. We had a plan to keep videos in the loop, but best laid plans and all. So we lost traction, and I think if I recall, with everything going in to the fall and just complications, life happening, we weren't filming as much, and they weren't. being consistent. So we kind of regrouped after the new year and found some other ways to just be more consistent. That's the point. It's not that we're strategizing about trying to make this channel blow up or anything, but it was just about if we're going to do it, how can we do it a little bit better? And
Yeah.
being consistent has helped immensely. And not just that, but I want to throw it to you about some of the experiments that you started dropping in, which have really elevated our visibility, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's really pumped us up is our shorts.
Hmm.
And I know for a lot of people on YouTube, like YouTubers, I'm not talking about people on YouTube, but YouTubers, I hear a lot of negative things about shorts. They don't like doing shorts and stuff like that. And a lot of that is because there's not a whole lot of like ad revenue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, for us, like we don't the ad revenue is nothing because we haven't reached
We don't
that
have, yeah, we don't
yet.
have it.
And so trying to find ways to be consistent and put out regular videos. Um, uh, I was like, well, let's start doing some of these shorts. And so for me, I've been putting out inking time lapses of the weekly series that I've been doing this year. It adds literally 10 minutes of work to what I would be doing anyway,
Yeah.
of just putting my phone on time lapse and capturing what I'm doing and then putting it out into the world so people can see. And we've had at least two videos. And I mean, really, like all the videos that I've put out for the time lapses have done for us pretty good.
All the
Um,
ones you put out.
yeah, I still stand by what happened with yours. Putting it out during a NFL playoff game, maybe maybe we should have thought of that. Um, but look, hey, I'm gonna put out ones that don't work. It's gonna happen. I just put one out a few hours ago. God
Yeah.
knows what that's gonna do. And we just can't dwell on it. We need to do what we always talk about, which is do the damn thing and keep moving
Mhm.
forward. Um, but yeah, no, we had two videos this week that did 2,500 views. Each got 100 some likes. Again, we know those are small numbers
Yeah.
when it comes to a lot of YouTube shorts and stuff like that. But for us, that was the catalyst that brought more people
Yeah.
onto the channel. Um, and we hope that they'll stick around and they'll watch some of these longer videos because that's more of our goal. We hope that you'll go check out our comics because that's even more of our goal.
Yeah. That's
And
the
we'd love for you
dream.
guys to engage with us and talk about maybe some of your creative pursuits.
Yes.
Um, because that's what I would like out of this channel is a community of artists. We already have some that watch us. And talk about what they do and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the point of our channel is to document our journey as cartoonists and self-publishing our our creations. And so you would think that by default our audience is going to be our peer group. And and yes, I want us to be that voice for the independent creator. Um, Especially when you are, you have, 1 foot in your daily you know, in the grind in your day job, and then, 1 foot, you know, in your, making your comics, and how sometimes you got to like put more weight on one than the other as you're going through life and you're going through this process. So, um,
Yeah.
if we have we're sharing our experiences and we feel they're probably pretty relatable, but we want to hear from people who are in the same boat and how they're navigating those waters.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, and we're always looking for tips on how are you guys navigating
That's
it? How
you
how
see,
can
you
we
said the
navigate
quiet
it
part
better?
out loud, Ryan.
Well, no, because you talked about a few episodes ago about readjusting your schedule and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and how that's helped you. And
Yeah.
so I would love to hear that from other people. how have you readjusted your schedule to help get more work done? Or maybe what are some of the pitfalls you've had, you know,
Mhm.
trying to adjust your schedule? Maybe it hasn't worked. And so maybe you need to go back to the drawing board because it doesn't always work. And I think it's important to talk about, that's okay when it doesn't work. You were talking a little bit about how, we hit a snag for a month or two where we couldn't get stuff out. Well, we had all sorts of stuff going on. You guys had a loss in your family, and I was working pretty much 2 months straight with
Mhm.
no day off. And look, that you have to have your priorities, and that's okay to have your priorities.
Yep.
And I think about that a lot doing the project that I'm doing right now, where I'm like, um, I'm going to do a story every week and stuff like that. And I talk about that some in the solo video that I'm going to release is, um, I almost get to the end of every story and go, oh my God, can I do this another week? And it almost informs the next one,
Yeah.
uh, because it is so much work. And I know, I know I'm going to hit a point where I just go, all right, it's going to be late, or, maybe I'm going to take this week off, or it's going to, and that's going to be fine. And I'm
Yeah.
going to have to just live with it. It's not going to be the end of the world.
Mhm.
It's hardly anything's ever going to be the end of the world.
Right. Right.
So,
So, to get back to the growth of the channel, I think it's a good opportunity to, you know, give our thanks to people who have been supporting us as viewers, as subscribers, engaging with us in the comments of our videos, giving us that feedback that lets us know that we're hitting the mark, with what we're trying to do. Our efforts are getting we're getting somewhere, right?
yeah.
So a heartfelt, comics in the making thanks to, everyone who jumped in amongst the first 100. And then if you've come in after those 100, thank you very much to you too, because that is how you're seeing the next kind of steps towards the the next set of milestones. If I'm making sense on that.
No, oh, for sure. I would love for us to do a video in hopefully the near future, but where we're talking about everyone that came in the before the 500, or before the
Right.
1,000, but yeah, no, it means so much for us on so many for on so many levels of us being creatives.
Hmm.
And no matter what me and Levi have a background in not just comics, but in music and stuff. And we know like the different, milestones that you hit. And for so often when it comes to creative pursuits, just the act of someone hitting that like button or commenting and saying, hey, I like this. Or if we're performing at a show and someone coming up after the performance and saying, "Hey, I really like that. That was great."
Yeah.
Even if there's no monetary exchange whatsoever, that's what keeps us going
Hmm.
to do another one. That's our dopamine hit. That's
Yeah.
our, you know,
You know,
so so yeah, no, it's much appreciated. Any time it doesn't feel like we're screaming out into a void, um, it's appreciated.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. So, um, and as we continue to grow, like we've laid out, we have done some new things that are providing better quality content. We're learning how to do a YouTube channel a little bit better, so hopefully these videos can be more entertaining. Maybe this video notwithstanding, but but
No, this has been great.
but we want to do all those things that make it fun for us to sit here and talk. I mean, Ryan and I don't need an excuse to talk about comics or making our comics. The to give you a behind the scenes, I don't know if we mentioned it before, but we pregame the episodes on the phone and we just start talking, and before you know it, one of us will say, "Hey, dude, I think we're doing the show right now. Let's try to remember what we just said and roll that, let's get the cameras going and roll that in." And then after we wrap the shoot, we have another conversation and we go on because we love to talk about what we're doing. We love to talk about comics and making our comics. Um,
Well,
so
yeah, and and so this to further the point of us trying to release content and stuff like that. So a lot of our content that we're going to be releasing, um, our end goal is always going to be putting out our comics. And this channel, like you said, is really uh, uh a diary, a time lapse, I don't
yeah,
know, of
yeah,
whatever of
a real
us,
time time
real,
lapse.
yeah, 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 of us um doing that and talking about it, and what do we do that week, what's been our pitfalls and stuff like that.
Mhm.
um but all this content that we want to put out and that we're trying to put out, it's what we're doing anyway. So like, again, the
Yeah.
conversations where it's me and you, we're just documenting me and Levi talking about comics and what we're doing. When I put out a time lapse video, when Levi puts out a time lapse video, there's no extra work in there aside from like, hey, let's put some music over it or some shit. It's what we're doing anyway.
Right.
When I do the solo videos, yeah, it adds probably another hour or two of work for me a week. But other than that, I've already got the files for the time lapse. It's throwing it in there. It's me talking to my phone and trying to make it look natural, and then editing that stuff together.
No phone.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah. Uh, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot of extra work.
No,
Um,
no, it's just a matter. I mean, we've got the technology stuff hanging around, and sometimes you have to set it up, but that's requires nothing.
yeah.
Um, you know, the I mean, honestly, if we didn't have the channel, I'd like to think that you and I would still talk
Yeah.
about the comics that we're making and going through similar conversations that we put on YouTube, just about, hey, what'd you do? I saw the thing you posted over there, and I saw you, the Slackmatic, or the wizard staff story. That's pretty dope that you share with people over there on Webtoons. We'd still be doing the exact same thing. Difference is we
Yeah.
flip the switch so you can be part of it too.
Yeah. No, it's all about just trying to connect with people,
Hmm.
you know. Um, and that's, I was thinking about this. We talked a little bit about it in the Gabba Gabba Hum podcast, and I think Jeff said, I think we'd all just rather be in our rooms creating whatever, our comics. That's what we want to do. And we were talking about, having to wear all the different hats. Um, yeah, for having to wear all the different hats for being independent creators, whether that's music or comics or painting or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and I was thinking about it, and I know this isn't the case for everybody, but and he's right. There are times where I'm like, man, it would just be great if I could just sit in this room and write and then draw and then send it to like an editor or whoever and say, you deal with all the other bullshit. And then I'm off to the next one and I don't even have to worry about it. Um, but because that's not the way it is, I have to find ways to enjoy doing this other stuff and getting comfortable with it. And so now, closing in on my third week of doing like a solo video, now that's just part of my week. It's,
Hmm.
I get a story done and I write that story and then I pencil out that story and then I do the finished artwork. And while I'm doing the finished artwork, I'm putting my phone up and I'm recording time lapses, and then I'm putting those out throughout the week. And then I get to, hopefully I'm done on Thursday, and then I'm releasing it on Friday. And it's kind of like, Friday and Saturday, those are my big social media days where I'm like responding to stuff. but when I skip the part, so when I'm done, I'm putting that solo video all together, and now that's just part of my week. That's what I do, and I enjoy it. And actually, like doing that solo video is kind of like uh that's the recap for me of getting done
Yep.
with what I did, and then it's moving on. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Um, and so, my point is, I enjoy doing this. I
Yeah.
love getting to talk to you a couple times a week. I love doing these videos. I love putting the time lapses out. It's just fun. Like I like all of it. I can't complain, you
Yeah.
know?
It's this has become part of our process. Doing this show has become part of our comic book creating process. Dropping the videos, the time lapses, the shorts, that's just become part of our workflow.
Yeah.
And YouTube is how we get to engage with other creators and people who like our work. My band had a gig last night. We get booked at a venue, we play a set. That's how we get to engage with the people who might like our stuff. With comics, you can do your book, you can put it out there, but in order to try to get the most mileage out of what you're doing, having this interface is the way to go.
Yeah. Well,
And we appreciate everyone who's jumping on board in these last, honestly, like 2 weeks or so,
yeah.
who are helping us grow. And that just enables us to that fills us with a motivation to keep doing it and try to figure out how to do it, even better.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about it before too, coming from like musical backgrounds and stuff, and how like once you get good at performing live, that's your almost your business card for people. Like when they see you, like maybe
Yeah.
they've never heard your music and stuff like that. And I think it's hard for people to process music like immediately and go, "Oh, this is awesome." At least it is for me. I have to listen to something a couple times. But when I see bands that are just knocking it out of the park, um, performance wise, that makes me want to listen to their music and go get their music. And we've talked about the difficulties as, cartoonists, where we don't really have that like, check it out, this is how I do the comic and stuff like that, and that
Yeah.
almost like performance thing. Well, this is this is kind of it,
This is it.
this is it, releasing the time lapse videos, talking to each other about it and stuff like that. This is it. So, um,
for what for what that's worth. I mean,
yeah,
you know, but the payoff is we get to talk about the comics we're making and what we're doing and the comics we're enjoying. And then up to this point, 112 people are coming along for the ride.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it's
so,
great.
hats off to y'all. Thanks for jumping in, being
Yeah,
part of Comics in the Making and sticking around and watching us do what we're doing.
right. It's been awesome. I can't believe we haven't gotten the 10-minute warning yet.
Yeah, but I'm thinking we got what we need out of this one, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I
there it
think
is.
so. There it is.
But I don't think we need 10 minutes to take us on out of here. I think we've said our piece and we're growing. We once again, just to reiterate, this has all happened so fast. Um, and we are just glad to have you. Thank you for welcoming. Thank you
We
for,
might need the 10 minutes.
yeah, we might need 10 minutes for me to say that word. Thank you for like letting us like come through your internet feed.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Now, we like we said for the last 30 minutes, we really appreciate it. And it's great. And we hope to keep doing this. I mean, there's no plans to stop.
Nope,
Um,
nope, not
so
at all.
no, and it's you know, uh it's just nice to, yeah, get just get a little bit these little milestones and stuff like that.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just great.
Oh
We
yeah,
really
without a
we
doubt.
appreciate it.
And I will say tomorrow I expect the proof for the big issue one to be in my mailbox.
I was gonna ask you
So,
about that.
yep. Yep. So I think I'm gonna do like an unboxing up video that
Yes,
I'll put up and hopefully all is well and we'll get the printing started and the Kickstarter campaign will be shortly launching on that. So
awesome,
please be looking for that and we'll share that link when it becomes available.
awesome. That's great. I look forward to seeing that video. Like I'm excited about seeing that video because I haven't seen, I've seen your mini and stuff like that, but I haven't seen the full, you know,
Yeah.
comic book.
Yeah.
So
So I'll cook something up for that.
hell yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well, I guess we're
Now
just gonna go do the damn thing after this.
that's it.
All right. Talk to you later.
You good?